Hello and welcome to Beyond the Ball. I am your stand-in host this week, Big Paddy. I'm joined by the regular host, the resident Chelsea supporter, Collie.
Hello. I'm
All right.
happy to pass over the baton so I can concentrate fully and give me expert opinion on Chelsea's match here. So I'm drifting off into the side here and watching the match to the side. So.
Okay. Well, we'll go with opinion. I don't know about expert, but we'll definitely go with opinion.
Right.
And we're also joined by our resident Liverpool supporter, and wouldn't you know, we'd show up this week, Conor.
How's it going, folks? I'm back.
Oh my God. So I think this is a punishment. Me being host this week is punishment because unfortunately I never done a reaction video on Sunday, which I've been given a lot of grief about, but I actually went into some serious psychotherapy straight after the game, and I've only been released early this morning, so I wasn't actually available to do a video. But here we are. I'm going to have to talk about that shambles of a game on Sunday. Manchester United were disgraceful. But let's go on to the football review and get to it.
Oh, no, Paddy, and so many people asked for this, or you're not getting away with just apologizing like that and saying, oh, everybody wanted a review, I didn't do one.
What do you want, blood?
I want a fucking public apology to every single person that requested one from you, and I want you to mean every word you say.
Okay. Sorry, I have all the names. So John Finbar 123, Big Sweaty Bollocks 854. I'm incredibly sorry I didn't do a sorry reaction video. It will never happen again. My apologies. There we go. Now let's go to the football review.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to start with Arsenal against Bournemouth. An absolute robbery. Robbed. 96 minutes injury time given. They score in the 97th minute. I don't know what happened. Collie, what were your thoughts on this game?
I'll tell you what my thoughts were in this game, right? It was an absolute shambles. It was that game kept going. It went out for a corner. I've seen refs blowing it up loads of times for corners. They blow the fucking game up. Like, do you know what I mean? We don't need that extra minute there. There was no time wasting going on. Nobody was time wasting. It was 2-2. Arsenal were pushing for the fucking win. Nobody time wasted. Why are we getting an extra minute? It doesn't make sense. What a goal, by the way, to fucking win it though. It was a great strike. I can't argue with the strike and the scenes after it. Although it was Arsenal, great scenes to see. Something similar to Manchester City. Do you remember that time when Aguero scored and everyone's running around like lunatics? A little bit more time than that, but obviously
they won the league.
Yeah, when they won the league, exactly. They acted like they're after winning the league, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think
they won the Bournemouth Cup. Well done. Good for them. Yeah. I'm a bit bitter this week. I think you'll notice.
Yeah.
Connor, what did you think?
Yeah, no, it was a good game. I agree. It probably should have got blown up, but if this doesn't show that Arsenal are definitely in the title hunt, I know people were saying they're gonna do an Arsenal. That's a game where it was set up for them to do an Arsenal, and they didn't. So they're definitely the team to beat, and they're showing that they're like that. They had this one. They also had the Villa game where they came back, scored 2 goals after 90 minutes. They're winning games where they previously would have lost them or drawn them.
So are you saying you think it's Arsenal's league now? Do you think City could catch them?
I still think City can catch them, but it's. I think people had put it in that it was City's league to still lose, even though they were at top. It's definitely in Arsenal's hands. And they're showing so far that they have the bottle to hold on to it in these games where they would typically drop points.
Absolutely,
they still have some massive games though. They still have some massive games to come. Like they still have to play Chelsea. I know everyone will say that's not massive. I'm just waiting on it. Like, you get there before everyone said it. They have to play Chelsea. They still have to play City as well, and I think they have to play Liverpool as well, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
do. I think Liverpool
pretty big games, like
tough run of games. Yeah. So, Cody, do you still think that they're going to bottle it?
Yeah, 100%. They're going to bottle it. They are going to bottle it. I don't think it. They're 100% going to bottle it. Man City are going to win the league. United, I did say we're challenging, but they've kind of fallen off a little bit. I don't know whether they're going to put in as close to challenge as I thought. I did do a video saying they're 100% going to win it, but that was just giving them the kiss of death.
You do a lot of videos, Collie. We understand.
Yeah, exactly. I've said a lot of things, to be honest with you. One of them is bound to be right. But now I still think it's Man City's league. I don't think they're going to throw it away. I think City are going to win it.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Arsenal. You've won the Bournemouth Cup. Let's move on. City with a convincing performance against Newcastle. I think, Collie, you said it last week after the Carabao Cup final that they wouldn't have any fight left in them, and you were right. Conor, you weren't here because I think Liverpool lost the week before, and you just don't show up when Liverpool lose. So, Conor, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Newcastle's season, I think, rested on last week. So I think it's going to take them a couple of weeks to get over, to be honest. It's just one of those things that, again, just sit here when they're in flow like that and they go ahead early, it doesn't look like they can be caught. It's almost like they have to go behind for teams to pick points up off them. Yeah, comfortable. Newcastle didn't look like they were going to do anything in the game. Heads are down, which is obviously a good thing for Liverpool and Spurs fans who are looking for that fourth spot now after they get rattled for the next couple of weeks. It's definitely going to fall back into both their hands.
Well, we won't be reviewing it, but I suppose Spurs with a poor result the weekend as well. You must be a happy man.
It wasn't a bad weekend, the results overall.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Take it.
So how many points outside the Champions League spots are you now?
Three.
Great result, yeah.
3 same games played.
But
for the record, I also
really
did a video saying that Liverpool are going to get top 4. I'm just throwing it there.
Yeah, you did a video that said they weren't going to get top 4 as well. So
win, like, you know what I mean?
Collie, what did you think of this game?
Paddy, before I talk about this, because we are watching the Chelsea match, can I talk a bit about Chelsea match? I just want to give the starting lineup and just what I think, what our thoughts are, and what we give our score predictions before we kind of.
Yeah, sure. I'm just the host, so it doesn't really matter what I think.
Just making I like your flow, I don't like this Chelsea bullshit.
For anyone that is listening as well, we are watching it, but there's have to be a 10-minute delay. Potter's on the screen there, boo. But I actually do like the team he's put out, lads. Maybe I wouldn't have had 1 or 2 on, but he has Kepa in goal, Fofana, Koulibaly, and Cucurella at the back. Then he's got Reece James out right wing, Ben Chilwell out left wing. He's got Enzo with Kovacic in the middle, which I really like. And then he has Sterling out on the right, Felix on the left, and Havertz up top. Lads, I would like to see Sterling go through the middle and drop Havertz. He hasn't done enough in the last couple of weeks to fucking warrant still starting. I won the Champions League first. I'd like to see Mudryk playing a bit more. I don't think Potter likes him for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't know. Lads, I think we're gonna if we're gonna win this game and go through, it's gonna be 1-0 and we're gonna win it on penalties. That's the only way I'm saying we win. Other than that, we're losing. Sorry, back on to do you want to
I like the way you pawned off that as Chelsea playing 3 in the back when it's clearly 5.
Yeah,
Reece James
I know.
Right full back. Let's be honest, it's a 5 back.
I'm looking at live score and they have it as a 3-4-3, so I just went with that.
As well. You're putting it up on the graphic as well here. That's absolutely not the 5 back.
Okay. That's enough of that. Apologies everybody for having to listen to Collie.
Wait, what score, lads? What score do you think it's gonna be before it goes into it? It's just that
1-0 Chelsea. Chelsea to win an extra time. 2-0. 2-1 on aggregate.
I think 1-1 here, and Dortmund will go through.
All right. Sorry, Paddy. I'll jump back. Sorry for rudely wrecking your.
No, you're fine. Sure, you're on a roll there. Give me your views on the Man City Newcastle game.
Look, as I said the week before, I did think that Newcastle weren't going to get at now, but I thought they were going to be quite deflated after that cup loss, and they weren't in the best of form going into that cup anyway. So it was almost like kicking them in the face while they were down. And I thought this was going to be no different. So yeah, I fully expected a 2-0 win for Man City. I think I could have even predicted a 2-0 win for Man City. But not surprised at all, really, to be honest with you.
No.
Normal service resumes for Man City.
Yeah, but I suppose it's more a question of now where are Newcastle in terms of their league. They started so well. It seems to be that they just blew their load, and now they're gone. They could go into free fall because they're like form for the last, say, over 10 games does not look good. So do we think they will even get the Europa League spots?
No, I think they peaked, and 5th or 6th is going to be theirs. I'd more realistically, I think maybe 5th, depending on what Spurs do. But yeah,
Spurs do with Spurs.
Spurs do with Spurs. Conte fucking, I don't know. He seems to be struggling. He's so fucking up and down at the moment with Spurs. I don't know whether he can grab them all with the bollocks and just say, here, lads, get your fucking shit together. Like, he is a serial winner. I think I predicted Spurs come second or something in the league at the start of the season because I genuinely thought they were going to do really well with Conte. But yeah, they seem to be.
Are we not seeing Conte's limitations now? Like, he done well in Italy. He came over to England and he had a great squad with Chelsea. Yeah. Now he's after going to Tottenham. Now, if he is as good as you, for one, have said he is, should he not be winning something at Tottenham? Should he not be bottling it? Getting rid of the sportiness?
The reason I said he's so good is just because of what he's done previously. Like, I can only go on past kind of experience of seeing him at Chelsea. He's won the league at Chelsea. So, yeah, I mean, how can you question it as much? Like, he seemed to get the most from that squad as well. There's still, like, there was one or two players that weren't probably great in that squad, but they did have the likes of Eden Hazard and stuff like that in fucking his prime. So, yeah, maybe kind of masked a bit by that by having such good players there. But look, they have Son and they have Kane and all that Spurs, so they should be well able to get it. But I don't know whether they'll be able or not.
So, like, Conor, if you look at Spurs and I suppose what Conte is doing there, Pochettino came in as a relatively unknown manager, built his reputation at Spurs, and I suppose he's known as a really good manager since then. Conte is coming in, and I suppose his legacy, or not so much his legacy, his reputation will have taken a hit at Spurs if he doesn't get fourth or win a trophy, won't it?
Yeah, I think sometimes managers go past their legacy, right? If we look at Carlo Ancelotti having a stinker at Everton, he still goes on to remanage Real Madrid. Yeah. So I think when managers get to a certain stage, Mourinho suffered that. Spurs, I'm sure he could still walk back into the majority of dressing rooms around Europe. Chelsea. He could walk into a Chelsea dressing room, and take over tomorrow. Do you not think so, though?
No, I'd fucking love it. I'd absolutely fucking love Mourinho back at Chelsea.
Sorry, that was you getting the horn, was it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be disappointing from like the Spurs side of it. Obviously, I think they've actually one of the few seasons they've invested quite well. They had a big queue with keeping Son and Kane, and if they don't get European spot or top 4 spot, will they get another summer without losing Harry Kane or Hyman Son? I don't know.
I think they lose Kane in the summer.
They're going to invest. They have to invest heavily. They have to sell Kane now, really, to make back anything. And well, not make back because they didn't buy him really, like for anything like what he's worth now. But I don't think they'll get this summer what they would have got last summer just because of his age. Once you hit that 30 mark, although then you've got unless it's Manchester United coming in, because then you'll get the United tax. But
is he 30?
Snap your hand off for him. Sorry,
is he 30? Is he?
He's 30. Yeah, he's 30 now.
I think United might get him, to be honest.
We'll talk about strikers and United in a couple of games' time, but I've blocked the next 25 minutes because we have to talk about Chelsea and Leeds. Collie, 1-0 to Chelsea, a win, and to be honest with you, look, I seen your reaction video and it wasn't good enough, but considering the run you were on, a win is a win, and anything to build a bit of confidence is a positive. Yeah,
has to be. It has to be considered a positive, and I think it'll be a positive for the squad. But as a fan, like, there's not, like, I didn't see very many positives there. We failed to break down a really poor Leeds team, and the only way we scored was by scoring from a set piece with Fofana, which the keeper probably should have saved. Again, going forward, shocking. Little passages of play, individuals were very good, but being able to tactically break down a team is just something Chelsea are not able for, and this again shows the lack of tactical knowledge by Potter, being able to switch it up. Again, seeing it tonight, Havertz up top, he's not scoring. We scored what, 4 goals or 6 goals in 17 games or something like that. Like, it's time to make a change there. Like, we have Aubameyang sitting on the bench. I know you don't want to play him, but he's an out and out striker. Then we have Fofana, who we got as well, who's an out and out striker. Play one of them, like.
But where is I suppose, the individual brilliance? Because you have some brilliant players that play up in the top forward positions. So why are they not producing anything?
I think Felix at the moment is doing the work of 3 people. He's been brilliant since he came in.
Scored the cleaner and the kitchen lady.
Yeah, I think he scored. Did he score the first game?
He got sent off the first game, Collie.
Got sent
He got
off.
sent off the first game, was it? I was trying to think. Did he scored as well, though?
I don't know.
Yeah, he scored,
a
and then he got sent off. No, that's not a pen. Is it a pen? Penno!
Penno.
That's a penno.
He was
Come on,
miles ahead
Potter.
of me,
A
yeah.
bit of animation from Potter. See that? Fucking
Jesus.
hell. That's the first time I've seen that. Jesus Christ, lads.
Right.
Yeah, go on.
So you're not happy. You're not a happy man in any way. Chelsea Leeds, no.
Not convinced. Okay. Yeah, like don't let it fool you. Not convinced by a 1-0 win against Leeds. Where to go is a set piece.
Look, I'll take a win as a win. Conor, what do you think? Did you see any of this game?
No, I saw highlights of it. But I think I know Collie said it before as well, where Potter had been playing nice football but wasn't getting results, and we said the results-driven game. We're getting a result. You got a result. You have to take the result on its merit of what it is. So 3 points. Leeds on my bounce back as well with a new manager. Javi Gracia is no fucking. There's no funny business. Like he comes in, he gets things done. He did that at Watford. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that at Leeds as well, keeping them up. So I think it's actually a huge result for them. I don't think Leeds are going to be mopped over like they were with Jesse Marsh in charge for the rest of the season. So a 1-0 win, keeping Leeds out, is a pretty good result. I said I didn't see the game, so whether the football or not was any better or whether they broke them down, I don't know. But take the result and run with it, because I don't think many are going to get 3 points off of Leeds.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. They couldn't buy a win before this game. So you will take any 3 points that you can get. They were dropping further and further down the table as well. So to have any chance of getting into the European spots, and that's, I suppose, another question towards Collie. Would you prefer to finish up outside the Europa League spots or get into the Europa League spots?
I mean, if I say finish outside, it means that we don't get to watch. I don't get to watch as much as Chelsea. I want to watch Chelsea every fucking day, but I think we're good enough to not play in it and finish in the top 4 next season. So I don't think it matters. I think, if we get it, we have a chance of winning it, and if we win it, we get into the Champions League. But I genuinely think Felix is fucked. Fuck this.
Come on. What do you think? Give me an answer.
But I think that in.
Okay.
I prefer to get it, yeah.
Okay,
I think
so
it's you have to get. No, I know teams don't want it, but again, if you're looking to dip into the market and you're finishing 9th in the league instead of 6th, it still is a huge thing with income, with players who want to join a mid-table team as opposed to a European side. It's still a big thing, I think. So
yeah,
even though it takes up your first season.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose let me pose the same question to you, Conor. Europa League next year, if Liverpool can't get into it, or would you prefer to finish outside the Europa League spots and the Conference League?
No, I still think you still take some kind of European football. You know, whether when you get there, how serious you want to take it or not is up to team.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like, if you look on the flip side of it, I'm sure United still want to go and win the Europa League this season.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yeah. And we had
this time last year would have been like, do we actually even want to be in it or not? So when it gets down to the business end of those competitions, regardless of what they are, you want to win it. So
you want to win it. Exactly, absolutely. Okay, let's move on to the last game of the week to review, and that's Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0. Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe I got that.
Put the graphic up, Paddy. Put the graphic up. That's your job. One job you have is to put that graphic up.
Yeah, there we go. There's the graphic.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. So I suppose
a big party popper here and all.
Right. So first half, under a lot of pressure for the first 15-20 minutes, as you would expect at Anfield. United came back into the game.
When?
Gave away a goal, a really good goal for Liverpool at the very end of the first half. One of the most surprising things for me was, and it was before Roy Keane said, or just before the start of the second half, we're seeing the United players coming out of tunnel at Liverpool, and they were all standing waiting to come out onto the pitch, and they looked so relaxed. I was saying to myself, like, the Austrian sausage and all was just, floating about. Looked like he was lost. And I was just saying, I was thinking to myself, the Liverpool players are not going to come out for the second half in that type of humour. They're going to want to be focused on winning this game. It just seemed a bit too relaxed for me. But then the first 2 goals in the second half then that we conceded, the heads went down and they lost absolutely everything. I've never seen such a decline in my life. It was like last season's football. I would have expected a 7-0 against Liverpool last season, but definitely not this season. And I think that's why it hurts so much for most United supporters, because going into this game, United supporters and the majority of supporters, I think, would have thought United have a good chance of winning here this week. But it just absolutely fell apart, and you just have to look at the scoreline. It tells its own story. I'm sure we'll talk more about moments in the game in terms of Bruno Fernandes and maybe even Casemiro's performance, but I'd like to first of all ask Collie first, what's your reaction on the game for Liverpool?
I have a few points to make on this one. One, Bruno Fernandes was an absolute shambles of a so-called Manchester United captain. It was embarrassing what he was doing, complaining that he wasn't getting taken off when Ten Hag was making the substitutions. That is the last thing you want as a fan to see your captain doing, saying, take me fucking off. I don't want to be here anymore. Varane showed more leadership at the end of the game when all the players were fucking off down the tunnel, and he collared them all back and said, get the fuck over to the fans and said, thanks for coming here. Sorry for fucking being embarrassing. So for me, Varane showed a lot more leadership than Bruno did. Bruno was a little whinge bag. So let's just call a spade there. An absolute whinge bag when things aren't going his way, and it's embarrassing to watch. I
agree.
He gave up as well. And one of the things is, whatever about being a moan bag, look, you've got a lot of players that do it. Don't stop running. Don't ever stop running. He gave up. One of them, I think it was Salah, went by him on the right-hand side, and he fucking stopped running, and it looked so bad on him. I thought it was absolutely shocking. In terms of the result as well, like, you can't take anything away from how good Liverpool were. They were quite clinical with their chances. Some really good goals. Darwin Núñez actually shown that he's a bit of a player for the first time, I think, anyway, that he's really got something about him. But yeah, I think it was an embarrassment for United. I think Ten Hag came out and handled it again beautifully, where he kind of said that's not good enough, and made all these comments that it's not good enough, it's embarrassing, it's unprofessional, all this. I like that. The one thing I want to see from him is, I want to see, is he the great man manager that everybody says? At the start of the season, he dropped Rashford for showing up late at training. Is he going to do the same thing with Bruno Fernandes? And is he going to drop him for his fucking scandalous behavior in front of everybody? Like, this is, for me, this is way worse than what Rashford done. That all happening behind closed doors. No one would have even known about that. He was, an hour late. Or
if Ronaldo had have done that, there would have been
there'd be uproar.
Ronaldo was there.
Uproar. Yeah.
And Ronaldo would have been dropped at the time. But you see, can Manchester United afford to drop Bruno Fernandes at the moment?
But the only reason maybe not is because Eriksen is not there. But they'll have to bring in fucking McTominay or someone like that.
Has shown that he can perform.
Yeah.
But I suppose, okay, moving on to Conor, you must be extremely happy that front line of Gakpo, Salah and the Núñez have clicked so well. They look good. They look really good. Although the whole team looked good, I have to say. We never really looked like we were going to do any real damage to you. How do you sum up that performance?
Yeah, obviously delighted. There was the two things that stood out to me were the Liverpool team, out of confidence, would have taken their foot off of the gas after 2 or 3 and played for a 3-0 and held on. The fact that they pushed and they went looking for 8 and 9 after the 7 went in, they didn't stop. Shows that they wanted to make a statement with it, which is good. It's a team that they would have done that 2 or 3 years ago. Obviously, the front three clicking helps, and they just seem to be a little bit more fluid now. It took Gakpo a while to get up and running, but now he's got 4 goals in 3 games now. Again, Núñez has got 4 goals in 5 games and a couple of assists to do it as well. So, and even though we're saying that Salah's having such an off season, he's still got 13 goals so far this season and 7 or 8 assists. So, like, they're still performing. Back 4 who came in, they actually have I already saw today an outrageous win percentage. It's the first time they've played together. The first time they've played 2 games back to back together since the Champions League last season, because Konaté is back in. So if they can keep those 4 5, including the goalkeeper, fit. It's important. A little bit disappointed with United still going for it when they were 4, 5, 6, 7-0 down. And there has to be someone in the team, whether that's from management, whether that's on the pitch, that says, this is fucking embarrassing. Let's start killing the game. You're not getting back into it at 4-0 down. Fucking kill the game. Take the
they
pace,
just lost all their shape. Yeah.
Well, like they were still going gung ho. Like it was 6-0, and you had two pressing Allison with the ball. He clips the ball out, and all of a sudden there's 2 men out of the game. It's like you're not coming back from 6 down with 6 minutes left in the clock. Just pack in behind, play 2 banks of 4 or 2 banks of a 4 and a 5, and see the game out. Like they did that at 3-0. You're walking out of Anfield with a 3-0 loss after you beaten there 4-0 last year or 2 years ago. So it's not that bad. But as soon as you go and you get 7 shit past you, now it's the state of the nation. It's a Stewards inquiry as to what's after happening.
Paddy, before you move on, we get your opinion on it. Can I just put this stat to you? United haven't won in Old Trafford in 7 years, and they've only scored 1 goal. In Anfield, sorry.
Oh. Yeah, no, I seen that during the
18-1,
match
I believe it is.
Well, to be honest with you, I can't be that surprised considering, United haven't won the league in 10, 11 years now. We've been up and down through multiple managers. Form hasn't been very consistent over the last 10 years. And Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp over the last 8 years have played some of the best football in the league. And if it wasn't for Pep Guardiola, they probably would have won another 3 or 4 Premier Leagues in that time as well. So to see a stat like that, it's not really that surprising. This is the first year I would have thought to myself, we've a good chance, but to lose by that amount, then it was a big shock, massive shock.
What's your honest thoughts on it, Paddy? Though, like individually for the likes of Bruno, like I know I've said my piece on it, but what's your thoughts on that? Like as a United fan, what do you want to see happen there? What do you want to see Ten Hag do, and what do you make of any of the other players? Like,
I think it has to be dealt with. If you're a really, really top manager and a good manager, it will be dealt with internally. He's not going to come out and he's not going to strip Bruno Fernandes of the captaincy. He's not going to publicly slay him because that will just put more pressure on the player. And as a manager, you want your players to be performing at their peak. I am sure he will deal with it internally, and it may be known by maybe he's made a substitute, but he has to get some sort of punishment because it was unthinkable how he acted. I've seen it many times with him before that he's just petulant, he gives out a lot, but when I seen him putting his hands up in the middle of the park and then pushing the linesman, I think alone for pushing the linesman, I honestly believe that's worse than anything, and I think he should have been given between a 3 and 6 match ban for that, because the wider issue there is that's an official in the game. Oh, we can get away with that. What about everyone playing Sunday League now? They start pushing the referee. Bruno Fernandes got away with it. Oh, sure, I'll do it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do all linos stumble the same way though? Your man was like, as he was pushed, they all fall the same way.
It's not facing the same way.
Sure, shouldn't have put his hand on him. Sure, as simple as that.
They could review that. I think the FA should review that.
They did, and because it wasn't in the referee's notebook, they can't take any further action.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
So, but I suppose looking at the game as a whole, from a United supporter, I knew something wasn't right in the first half. When, to be honest with you, Casemiro has been the glue that has brought this team together in a lot of the big games for us this season. He misplaced his first 6 passes. He couldn't make a pass to save his life, and I knew we were going to have a difficult. It wasn't going to be what I thought it was beforehand, where I thought we'd be bossing the game. And then Liverpool got that goal. And I thought in the second half still, I can't explain as a supporter how we just lost the head so badly. Like, and not just Bruno Fernandes, but you're seeing even Varane and Martinez. Martinez just seemed like a shell of his former self playing in that second half. You could see he didn't know what to do, and he was getting pulled inside and out. And he even got pulled off towards the end of the game as well, because I think Ten Hag's team.
I didn't see that.
Didn't see that. I missed that one when he got pulled off. Fucking hell. I think we were watching the same game.
Anything to cheer him up, that's what a good Ten Hag is as a manager, just. But yeah, I haven't got much more to say other than, Jesus, as I said, and sorry to a couple of people, congratulations Liverpool, because what a win. And if it was me, I'd be screaming from the rooftops. It was the other way around.
Can I make a statement here, Paddy? And you're gonna hate this one. Manchester United fans, right, are the worst fans for banter, football banter. They're the worst fans in the world for it. And I'm sorry if that offends you. You cannot slag a Manchester United fan and have a bit of crack with them. They all just go, "Oh, look where you are. What about your fucking history? Your club was only formed fucking 20 years ago or something like." And it's the same shit all the time. You can have negative banter with Manchester United fans, but they're the first fuckers that'll come out and slag you when they beat you. I
think it's more the biggest clubs. I think Liverpool supporters are similar as well, but I think it's because they are proper clubs. They're not like.
But they're not, because when you went through that rough period, I know 80 or 90% of the United fans that I know would have said they'd have turned the game off, no bother. And I know fans that done that during that game. They turned the fucking game off. Never once in my life have I ever turned.
You can't give a stat 80-90%. That is.
That I know,
because you've no idea if those stats. Zero idea if that's that. You probably know 2 or 3. No, you know nothing.
I've talked to. All right, I talked to 3 of them.
Stats. He pulls them out of the air. He just thinks
5 of them
in his head.
I spoke to 5 people, and 4 of them turned it off. Shocking.
Right, okay, I'm the host this week. I'm gonna have to shut this down.
Paddy, I've got one more around United. Sorry, to ask you. And I actually saw Mark Albridge put a video of it yesterday. So where they are in the league, obviously challenging for the league. They've gone away to Arsenal and gotten beaten. They've gone away to City and gotten beaten. They've gone away to Brentford and gotten beaten. They've gone away to Liverpool and gotten beaten. Why is their home form so good and their away form so bad this season? They've dropped a lot of points away from home. Pretty much all their points, I think, have come on the road.
Oh, come on. You're thinking all their points they've dropped. They've lost against Arsenal. They've lost very... It wasn't that big of a loss against Arsenal. It was a very tight contest, and they won. They're top of the league. Okay, Man City, second in the league. We lost against them. You can accept those. So the only Brentford, you lost at Brentford as well. We lost at Brentford. Arsenal had a tough match against Brentford as well. Look, these things can happen. I don't think there's anything to look into in terms of away performances. I think the big one the only one that I'd really be worried about is the Liverpool one. The rest of them I can take as a supporter because they're against good teams and anybody can lose against anybody on any given day in the Premier League. So, of course, we're going to be stronger at home. But it's just one of those things. I wouldn't be too worried about away form considering the season we had last year. But that's just my opinion. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I can't argue with your opinion, can I?
Kind of fell asleep while you were saying that.
Yeah.
Here's a goal. Here's a panel. Here's fucking Dortmund.
Okay, here we go. Into the fantasy football.
How do you supposed to do that?
I thought...
Don't you ever assume with a graphic, all right? I'm born ready for these fucking graphics. However, I'm not.
Sorry. Okay.
Bring up the thing, so I will be doing that right now. So, lads, we're going to look at the fancy football from the past week, and I'm going to let Paddy talk us through it.
I'm doing terrible in this one as well. Hold on, let me.
Are you going to mine first? Look at that. Oh wait, hold on. I'm going to fucking share it. Sorry for all of our viewers. Whose team would you like to go through first, Paddy?
We may as well go through the king of the hill there. Give me the top team.
That's myself. Do you want me to go through it, or do you want to run through them?
No, you walk away. Sure, you're controlling the screen there. So
okay. 43 points average, lads, and 58 points is what I got. Sorry, I just want to check something here. If I do this, that's not showing on the screen, is it? Oh no, that's okay. So yeah, 58 points, 43 average. Done well. Allison, 7 points. Knew that Liverpool were going to beat them. White got me 7 points. Tarkowski got nothing. Everyone brought him in. Still have him and he's fucking shy. Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, clean sheet. Knew he was going to keep him because I knew Liverpool were going to beat them. Brought in Solly March. Thought he was going to be the guy to get me a few points, but unfortunately, it was Minamoto or whatever the fuck his name is, Little Moto. Rashford, 2 points, shy. Salah, 21 points, captain. I didn't have him captain. Should have had him captain. Martinelli with 4 points, had him as captain. Unfortunately, picked the wrong Arsenal player. Odegaard 2 points, Haaland 4, and Kane 2. Lads, I think 56 points or 58 points is a solid week. But I did have Kilman on the bench who got me 7 points. Obviously, didn't use him. And then Ward on the bench with 11 points. But sure, I got 7 as well, so sorry. Right, I'll move on to the next one, which is Paddy. So this is your one.
Okay, I cannot see it. Oh, there we go. Average Joe, 43 points. Here we go. Nothing too special to be talking about. Ederson's gets me 7. And if we just move down, defense was a shambles other than Alexander Arnold. Well done. He done great against United. Delighted. Keep moving down. Again, this free hit that I used a few weeks ago just absolutely killed me. Darwin and Haaland up front got me a few points, but other than that, the team was absolutely shocking. And I'm going to find it hard to pull it back now because of that free hit, with me thinking that it was a 1 week change, and it wasn't. It was a permanent change. My bench is just a joke as well. So, okay, so that's it. 43. Shocking. Brutal.
Right, on to Conor. Conor, you can talk us about this absolute calamity here that's happening.
Step aside, boys. Nick Pope. Oh, Jesus.
You do know it's not golf. The lower score wins.
If only.
26 points. Go on, talk us through who you've got.
I got 1 point in the battery. So, and I got a point from a goalkeeper. I think you just got a point for turning up on time. So fair play to this lady. I turned up on time. Midfield, Pereira. Did he get an assist last night?
2 assists.
Yeah. Trossard with 1. Trossard came in, I think, because I have fucking Cancelo. Almiron with 2, De Bruyne with 3, Kane, Haaland, and Watkins up front for a combination of 10. Fabian Schär has been out injured for the last 2 weeks. Cancelo has moved to Bayern Munich, and De Silva hasn't started a game since before December. So,
going strong.
Oh, that's for you.
What?
It's the post.
What? I'm missing it. I'm not there shutting it down because my thing was fucking lagging. Lads, we're ending the fancy football.
But, yeah,
all right, okay. No, it's okay. Right, Paddy, will I just run through this real quick?
Yeah, just fly out.
Because it's quicker on my screen. I don't know whether it might be the live views. O'Shane Kane still top of the league with 1,710 points. He is 14 points ahead of Collie Lamb. 2 of them battling out all season. Then we have Lee Dillon, then Dean Fletcher, Anto O'Rourke, Sonny McGreevy dropping down to 6th. Conor Ennis with up to 7th. Alan Donovan down to 8th. Tony Tam down to 9th. And then we have Francis Bellardi up to 10th. So well on, Francis, for making the top 10.
And coming up.
Right, lads, that's the fancy football done. Paddy, what do you want to move on to next?
Let's go on to the predictions.
I mean, you got it wrong. You know, it's wrong.
No, I was going to do that last.
No, it's in order.
But I do like that, and that graphic that was pretty good, actually. By the way,
You like it?
Yeah, it was really good.
I told you
I thought it was a new one for predictions. I was like, oh, this looks great, and then I seen that, and I was like, you absolute pig.
Right, Paddy, I'm gonna share the screen here. This is our 10 to 1,000 challenge. Yeah. So let me just share here.
Yeah.
Conor, have you done one as well?
Come up here. I have them here.
Yeah.
For some reason, it doesn't want to open.
Oh, sorry about this, everybody. We're having an absolute
ladies and gents.
Side of things.
You know, here we go. Paddy, talk us through it. This your one.
A lot of thought put into this about a minute and a half before we went live on the podcast. I looked for a boost bet, so I got Felix and Bellingham to get a shot on target each in tonight's game. Was 2-1, now 4-1. Stuck a tenner on it, so let's hope.
You stuck a fiver on it. You got a fiver free bet.
Yeah, you have a fiver on it. A fiver free bet. Yeah, I love it.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? Conor, is this you?
Yeah, that's me. Just did a treble for the weekend. A tenner to get me back 35 quid. I've done Chelsea to beat Leicester, Spurs to beat Forest, and United to beat Southampton. Chelsea at a nice price there, I think. Really even money.
Chelsea Leicester, that's a mad bet.
My one, lads, I've gone really small. Look at this, 0.64 to 1. So not even evens. I've gone with over 1.5 goals in the Rangers and Hibs match, over 1.5 goals in the Bayern and PSG match, and under 3.5 goals in the Spurs and Milan match. Because I think that's going to be like 1-0.
That's such a horrible bet, though, because you're just waiting for nothing to happen.
I know, yeah. It's great. So, lads, that's what I've done. And hopefully, if that one wins, I'll do the exact same one for me next bet.
So you should hit thousands by the year 2040 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
The same rate you're going, Paddy.
It'll still be before any of views. Right, I'm moving off that and I'm ending that. Paddy, what do you want up next?
You know what I want. Give it to me.
That's the prediction.
Score for this.
Score prediction.
Score prediction.
Fucking hell. I'm getting new technical people in the background for you stuff.
Okay, right, you can do the rest of it.
We're going to start off with Conor and Bournemouth against Liverpool. What are we thinking?
Well, the last time these two sides met, Liverpool won 9-0. So, and they're on the back off the back of winning 7. They're definitely going to draw this game. Probably now this is prime setup for Liverpool to suffer straight off the back of a good result. I don't think they will. I think they will still get a result, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I'm going to back Liverpool 2-1, and I'm going to say Cody Gakpo.
Collie.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will win this match and they'll score a few more goals. I think they're going to keep their goal scoring streak a little bit hot. So I'm going to say 3-1. I think they may concede a goal. And I'm going to go with Gakpo to score as well because he looks like he's... Is that 3 games in a row he scored now?
Yeah.
So good run of form for him. I think he'll keep it up.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I think it's going to be a Liverpool win, but I don't think they're going to concede. I think it's going to be a strong 3-0 win. And go for Salah because he looked really good again the weekend.
He's still ripped, isn't he?
What?
He's ridiculous. We also say Liverpool's top Premier League goal scorer now as well, and he's done it in 64 games fewer than the line sniffer did it. So
yeah, but he was coked over his head though.
To make it better, no?
Salah doesn't drink or anything. He's the ultimate professional, and he's still 63. Should have been probably more. But how many goals do you think he can go and get now? How many more years do you think you have in Salah? And will he stick at
talk of him going in summer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's talk of him going last summer, and there's talk of him going the summer before.
Yeah.
He got a new contract, didn't he?
He got a new contract last year. Yeah. You get 2 more years out of him. Again, that's why his 6th year in a row of scoring more than 20 goals in a season. So he does that for another 2 years. It's money in the bank. So,
and to think Chelsea could have had him, or they did have him, and they let him go.
Didn't want him. Shy. Didn't want him. He didn't suit Chelsea. if we had kept him there, he wouldn't have become that player. Yeah. He wouldn't have become that same player. I don't think we would have got as much as Klopp got out of him.
No, he definitely wouldn't have because Chelsea are shit.
Well,
speaking of Chelsea, Collie, we've got Leicester and Chelsea. How do we see this one going?
I think Leicester are just as shit as Manchester United, and we're going to beat them 7-0. No, I think Leicester are probably going to beat us 2-1, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in this match. If this is going to be a massive kind of... I love Felix shouting at the crowd to tell them to get up. I think this one's going to be a massive kind of confidence booster, or else it's going to be a complete fucking deflation. If we lose this and go out tonight, I can't see us even getting a result against Leicester. I'm gonna say 1-1, and I'll say, who do I say to score for Chelsea? Nobody. Koulibaly to score a header from a fucking set piece again, because it's the only way we can score. So
Connor.
Well, I've backed Chelsea in my bet because I think Chelsea get through here. They're off a high. They have 2 wins under the belt, back to back. They go to Leicester, and they scrape a 1-0 again.
Depends what happens.
And yeah, I'm gonna back Mudryk to come in and get a goal at the weekend.
I wish.
So 1-0 Chelsea, Mudryk.
Very good. Very good. Okay, I'm gonna go, considering like Chelsea did get the win last week, but I think they'll find it difficult against Leicester, and I'm gonna go for a 0-0. I think it's gonna be a big bore draw.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised with Chelsea.
So let's move on to Crystal Palace and Manchester City. Crystal Palace doing the double over City last year. Can they get a result again this year, Connor?
No.
No.
Again, I think this is going to be similar. I think to the Newcastle game last week. City go ahead early. They start making changes. Palace start creating a few chances, but they never actually break through. So I'm going to say, what does it go?
What?
No, it's not. It's offside.
What you? Oh, you're fucking ahead of us, are you?
I'm sorry, I didn't realise.
Sorry, what did you say there? What do you think?
I'm going to say City to win 2-0. Dominate, go 2-0 up in the first half and back Phil Foden to score. And Palace to kind of come back into it in the second half, but not break them down.
Good stuff. Collie?
I think City will win 2-1. They haven't really been spanking teams this season as much, have they?
No.
So I'm going to say 2-1 to City. And I'm going to go with Phil Foden to score because...
What a goal.
What a goal! Is that the one you were saying is offside?
It's offside.
Oh,
yeah, it is offside.
Hey, don't say that anymore.
How did you still fall?
Because I wasn't sure, like, if I missed it or if we were ahead or behind. What a finish! Yeah, 2-1 to Man City, I think, and I think Phil Foden's going to score because he's been doing really well lately, actually.
Okay, yeah, agree, lads. Man City win. I'm going to go for 2-0 and Kevin De Bruyne to score. So let's go on to Fulham and Arsenal, London derby. Control the odd surprise. Fulham haven't been doing too bad. Collie, how do you think this is going to go?
1-1. Arsenal going to bottle it. This is where it starts. London derby. Fulham are hit and miss at the best of times. I think Arsenal maybe, after being on such a high, after getting that win with the last kick of the game against Bournemouth, I think maybe this could be complacency at its finest. It was something similar to, who did I say it about? Was it probably United, when United beat Arsenal and then they came out the next week or something like that and they drew. So I think similar situation. I think Arsenal may be a little bit complacent and I think they may take the foot off the gas and it'll be 1-1.
We see Europa League is back this week as well, so they've got that to contend with also. Yeah,
exactly, and Fulham don't. So fresher legs for Fulham, hopefully.
1-1.
Sorry, I'm going to go with a Saka goal as well.
Saka goal, great. Connor?
Yeah, it's very harsh calling Fulham hit and miss this season. They're fucking 7th. They were avoiding relegation last year, so I think Silva's done a serious job with them.
Chelsea just miss.
Swinging a miss. So yeah, I do agree with Colin. I think it's going to be a tight game. Up until last night, I don't think Fulham were exactly pissing goals, and then they can hit a 3 against Brentford last night. I think it's going to be tight. I'm still going to back Arsenal. I still think there's another game where they just come through late on. So I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal, and I'm going to back Odegaard to score.
Yeah, 1-0 Arsenal and Martinelli to score for me. And moving on to our last game of the weekend, Manchester United against Southampton. I suppose I'll go first, considering it's my team. I think this is a more important game than the Europa League game during the week in terms of bouncing back after that Liverpool performance. This is where the real test now comes for Ten Hag and getting the players up for another Premier League game, because Southampton will be going for blood because they know United were hurt. But I do think United will come out strong here and probably win 3-0 and Rashford to score. Connor, how do you think this will go?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that United have to win the game. They're on the back of beating Liverpool and the Europa League. You'd say maybe a team in the relegation battle would pip them or put it up to them, but it's as much of a must win for United as it is for Southampton. So comfortable United win 3-0. Rashford.
Collie, I seen you shaking your head there. What's wrong with you?
Did you just see Koulibaly missing from 1 yard there. An open goal, and he just missed from fucking 1 yard. This chap is wearing the number 26 jersey.
Did he slip like Terry?
Fucking bullshit. Fucking score, like. Sorry, yeah. I think United will win this one. I think Ten Hag, like I said, he's handled everything since now very well. I think he'll handle this well as well. I think he probably will make a statement and drop Fernandes. But he'll probably bring him on at half time. I think here's one for you. 0-0 at half time. What?
You're going very specific. 0-0 at half time. To bring on Fernandes.
This is 0-0 at half time. He's coming on to change the game, and he makes a positive impact. And everyone will fucking suck themselves off, going, "Oh, Ten Hag, here we go, best manager in the world. He's after doing that. He gets a reaction. He's just a brilliant manager." Fuck off. But we all know what's going to happen. So fair play to him. So 2-1. So 2-1 to United, and Bruno Fernandes the score.
Okay, well, thanks very much, lads. This brings us to the end of the podcast, and what a painful week it was for me. But I think it was just the therapy I needed to get me over what happened the weekend that will never be spoken of again by me in any way. Collie, thanks for joining us this week.
No worries. Thanks for hosting, Paddy.
Connor, thank you very much for joining us this week. Depending on results, we may see you next week, but thank you anyway.
I just delay the podcast for a little bit here. Just delay it for a couple of seconds.
Why?
Just for content purposes.
Oh, there must. Okay, yeah. So, and anyway, I want to just say to everybody, we say it every week, but please, if you can, it helps. Subscribe, follow, 4 or 5 star reviews on Spotify. I'm the host today, so I can ask for a 4-star review.
5 stars.
5-star review. Connie wants a 5-star review.
That is embarrassing.
Oh, there's. Oh, yeah. What was that?
Oh, Raheem the Dream. What a goal.
Was that after you said like, that's embarrassing?
Yeah, no, that was embarrassing. A fucking swing and a miss at the first ball was pathetic. Oh,
okay, on that note, everybody, thank you, and I'll talk to you again next week.
Oh, graphics! Look at that!